Money. Yesterday I was listening to Paul McCartney's return at the age of 80, my age, to sing Money Can't Buy You Love. And of course there are other Beatles songs which say you can buy anything with money. Money is a central preoccupation, particularly of capitalist societies. Indeed, the more capitalist they are, the more obsessed they seem to be with money. As Tocqueville noticed in America, people talked about it all the time, they dreamt about it, they thought about it, and he thought this was related to this very individualistic, competitive society where there are very few other measures of your value except the amount of money you earned and how you spent it. And I've lived in a capitalist society, but one which is older and which places money within other value systems, so it's not quite as stark a feature of our society. I suppose the main thing I've learned about money is that if you have sufficient money, you can have happiness. If you are short of money, seriously, in any way, then it does gnaw away at you, because there are all sorts of things you would like. It was a feature of, obviously, of one's childhood that one never seemed to have enough pocket money to buy all the trains or sweets or guns or whatever it was one wanted, but one suffered it patiently and waited till the next weekend, or waited for a rich uncle or aunt to visit and Christmas to come round. So money was useful, but just a background. It's really only later in my teenage years that I took charge of my own money, and through university I looked after my grant to a large extent. And I never had quite enough money, but it didn't really worry me. I wasn't impecunious, I wasn't starving. And later in my life, as I grew older, thanks to the care of my wife and good fortune of my job and so on, I've got to a position where I don't really need to think about money. I keep careful accounts, which gives you some sense of security, because you know exactly what your position is. But within that constraint, I can put money on one side, because the secret of that, as was pointed out by Dickens, was that if you have a certain income and you spend just over that, that way ruin lies. If you have just a little more money coming in than you're spending, then happiness lies that way. And another thing on that aspect, which Adam Smith pointed out, was that if you are trying to balance your accounts, what you should really be concerned with is how much you spend. Trying to increase your income will not deal with imbalances, because you'll increase your income and then you'll overspend, continue to overspend. So concentrate on looking at things which you're spending money on and see if they can be trimmed. This is particularly pertinent at the moment because we're constantly being told we're going through a cost of living crisis, first time inflation's rising and so on. And so a lot of people are very worried about money, and they let money come to control their lives. It's a kind of drug, and if only I had a bit more money, my ails and ills would disappear. That also, of course, is a trick of capitalism, that it fills you with insatiable desire, ever receding expectations which rise every time your income rises. And so one of the difficult things is to peg your expenditure, and if you do get a windfall or your income rises, not to immediately go out and spend it. My family was pretty good at going out and spending any windfall, and were always worrying about money. My mother's letters are filled with worry about money, and that's really because of the handling of money, although a lot of it was spent on my education. So let money be a good servant, but not your master, because That's disastrous.